Welcome back. Today, we're tackling a big one, a real paradox that affects just about everyone. How is it possible that your paycheck can go up, but you still feel like you're falling behind? Let's dive in. So, let me just start with a question for you. Imagine you wake up tomorrow, your boss calls and says, "Great news, we're doubling your salary." Would you actually be richer? It's a weird question, right? Because for so many people, their pay has gone up, but it feels like they're just treading water or maybe even sinking a little. We're going to break down exactly why that happens. And this all comes down to something we can call the bigger paycheck illusion. You know that feeling, right? You look at your bank statement, the number's definitely bigger, but your actual lifestyle doesn't seem to be getting any better. It's confusing as hell. Okay, let's make this super simple with what I call the bread paradox. Let's say yesterday your salary was $1,000 and a loaf of bread cost just $1. Simple enough? Now today, boom, your salary doubles to $2,000. That's awesome. But when you go to the grocery store, that same loaf of bread now costs $2. So what really happened? At the end of the day, you can still only buy the exact same number of loaves of bread. You didn't actually get richer. Nope, the numbers just got bigger. And that right there is the core of the illusion. Your purchasing power, what your money can actually buy, hasn't changed one bit. And this gets us to the fundamental trick of printing money. Think about it. It doesn't create more stuff in the world. It doesn't build more houses or make more cars or bake more bread. All it does is make every single dollar in your pocket worth a little bit less. So how does this all happen? To get that, we need to look under the hood of the modern money machine. And when we say printing money, it's probably not what you're picturing. Yeah, forget those images of giant physical printers. Today, it's basically all digital. It starts when central banks decide to buy government debt. This simple act injects brand new cash directly into the commercial banking system. And just like that, with a few keystrokes, there's way more money flooding the economy, literally created out of thin air. And this process leads us directly to that word we all hear constantly, inflation. The definition is actually really straightforward but incredibly powerful. When you have a whole lot more money chasing the exact same amount of goods and services, the prices for those things just have to go up. It's a basic law of supply and demand. Now, pay attention because this next part is the piece of the story that almost nobody talks about, and it's probably the most important part of the whole puzzle. The real question isn't just that new money is being created, the question is who gets their hands on it first? See, this new money isn't just distributed evenly to everyone at the same time, no way. It flows in a very specific order. First, it goes to governments, to the big banks, and to large corporations. It floods right into the financial markets. And here's the kicker. They get to spend all that fresh new money before prices have had a chance to rise for everyone else. So by the time that money finally trickles all the way down through the system and shows up as a raise in your paycheck, well, it's too late. The damage is already done. The prices for all the essentials you need to live, your rent, your food, the gas for your car, are already higher. Why? Because the people who got the money first already bid them all up. You know, there's actually a name for this whole phenomenon. It's called the Cantillon effect. And it's the principle that new money isn't neutral. It systematically benefits those who are closest to the money printer and hurts those who are furthest away. Let's put some hard numbers on this so you can really feel the paycheck squeeze. Okay, imagine the overall cost of living. Inflation goes up by 8% in 1 year. At the same time, you get a 5% pay raise. On paper, it looks good. You're earning more money. But in reality, your purchasing power has actually fallen. You've effectively taken a 3% pay cut. You are measurably, quantifiably poorer, even though the number on your paycheck is bigger. That right there is the hidden tax of inflation doing its dirty work. So, does this make absolutely everybody poorer? Not exactly. And this is where the story takes a huge twist. This process creates a massive divide between people who own assets and people who rely on a paycheck. Let's compare the two groups. On one side, you have asset owners, people who own stocks, real estate, businesses. The value of those things tends to rise right along with inflation, sometimes even faster, so their wealth is protected. But on the other side, if your primary financial tool is your salary or money sitting in a savings account, its buying power just gets relentlessly eaten away. So the end result of this system is actually pretty predictable. It widens the gap between the haves and the have-nots. It creates a system that rewards asset owners and, well, kind of punishes diligent savers and hard workers. Now, understanding this isn't about being negative, it's about giving you a new lens to see the economy through. It gives you the power to start asking the right questions when you hear people talking about the economy on the news.
I think this quote just frames it perfectly. Inflation is a hidden tax. You don't get to vote on it, you don't get a bill in the mail for it. The only symptom you see is that everything you buy just keeps getting more and more expensive.
And this is really the transfer of wealth that's happening. Governments are effectively borrowing from the future by creating money today, but it's you and me who pay the price for it every single time we go to the supermarket.
So, here is the key takeaway. The one question to arm yourself with. The next time you hear about rising wages or a new government stimulus program, just ask yourself this one simple thing. Did our economy actually get more productive? Did we create more real value? Or did they just print more money? Because if it's the latter, you're not getting richer. You're just getting paid in weaker dollars.